MyMac Podcast 894. At your services, says.
And welcome, everyone, to the MyMac.com podcast.
Guys, cheer up.
Third time's the charm, guys. Third time is the charm. So is this the world's longest segue? Having Karl Madden from the Mac and Forth show on last week was fun, but it did kind of break up our discussion about Apple services. Somehow, guys, I think we will live through the experience, but we say that optimistically every single time Karl is on. However, we only have to be wrong once for a tragedy to strike. How are you this week, Gaz? And Karl, we love you. We're just kidding. Mostly clean. Yeah, mostly clean.
I am very well. Been a really busy week at work, and just generally, to be honest with you, I've been going hither and thither. I ran Touch, which will be at the moment, it'll be my second to last refereeing or officiating event, I think, midweek. And there was just lots of other things happening. So little time on MyMac, though I was sad to hear the demise of a certain Apple product, which I'm sure I will come to in the Gazzy Snippets piece. And you'll have to forgive us, people, because we may well segue again in the snippets, just to have a little chat about the iPod, because it is such a loved product. I have several of them still available, and I'd like to talk about how I used the iPod Touch initially. So I might leave, when I come to it, I might then skip it and then leave it at the end so we can finish my snippets and then just have a quick chat about it, if I may.
Okay. How did that dinner go?
Oh, very good, actually. Yes. Because I had that was included as well, of course. So yes, it was very good. Yes, I spoke. I didn't get any food thrown at me, so that's a result.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. It was very good. Yes, and for those in the UK that know this guy, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the other speaker was one Mr.
Pitbull.
Brian Moore. Pitbull, Mr. Brian Moore. So I must have mentioned it if you remembered Pitbull.
It was a guess.
So, it was a guess. Good guess.
Yeah.
Good guess. How about you then, Guy? How have you? I'll tell you what I'm going to ask first, though. I'm going to confuse you. What mic are you using today?
Well, I gotta say, I'm kind of in a rut. I'm still using the Lewitt LCT 440 Pure.
Wow.
So this is now 6-7 weeks in a row.
You be careful.
I'm telling you, Gaz, this mic is just so smooth. And
have you found
wonderful.
your panacea?
Oh, there's so many ways I could go with that. No. My mind works in mysterious and sometimes truly terrifying ways. And
Don't you know it?
Not even
Not
even gonna go where my mind was going. No, go ahead. What's the absolute?
Do you remember the conversation we had
happen?
at the start of the show?
Yes.
Move on.
Yes. Move on. Moving right on.
And you may or may not hear that in the after show, folks.
Other than that, the only other thing that's kind of going on is going to happen next week. Next Thursday, the wife is traveling to Boise. The wife. Yeah. Well, it's okay. I'm the husband.
Okay.
She's going to Boise to see her mom, and
where one of our listeners may reside. Mr.
Gary Apter.
Yes.
Gary Apter. Yeah, I actually met him out there. Oh God, so many years ago. We met for breakfast.
Yeah. So she's going to Boise.
She's going to Boise, which means I'm going to be left to my own devices.
Oh, careful.
Oh, very scary there. And it also means I have to take care of the menagerie of animals that we have here at the house.
Menagerie. You've got a menagerie.
So many
animals. Veritable
guys.
Petting zoo you've got there, haven't you?
My goodness, and they will rely on me for their very survival.
That's that. Yeah.
He said with an evil laugh. 4 guinea pigs and 2 cats are going to depend on me to continue living.
I think the cats may be okay.
Cats will be fine. It's the guinea pigs. The guinea pigs will be huddled in the corner.
shaking.
Save us for the love of God. But she's going to be gone for 10 days. And the only bad part about the whole thing is that it kind of interrupts some plans I was hoping to make. I didn't make them because I knew that her plans to go out to Boise were going to kind of screw it up.
Right.
My son Peter is going down to Orlando to Universal Studios, as he and some of his friends do every single year. And I was hoping to get down to Florida, spend a day with them at the parks, just one day out of the 4 they were going to be there, because I think one day with Dad is more than enough. It's like, no more than that
Probably
with Dad.
Is, yeah.
And then go see some of my brothers and sisters and nephews and nieces while I was down there. And I was actually planning on taking one of my nephew's kids to Disneyland for the day. But now that's all screwed up because she gets back the day before I would have to leave.
Right.
And it's just too close. You know, if something goes wrong, and these days, who knows, something can go wrong, and she wasn't able to get back on time, any money that I had put into a trip to Florida would have been gone right down the toilet.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, okay. So maybe sometime.
Is that how you send money in the States?
Yeah, right in through the toilet.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, with inflation, you know, it's like, why buy toilet paper? Just use your money. Single dollar bills. It's cheaper. A little scratchier, but you know. All right. Well, why don't we go on over to something else, because this show has just devolved right into toilet humor.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
I think we should go to Gaz's snippets. Apple Director of Machine Learning has departed over a return to in-person work policy. Now, I'm not sure whether we mentioned this last week or not. The problem is I'm now listening to Karl on the Mac and Forth show, and I think he's talking about that as well. So I'm then thinking, well, I've heard it, so I must have said it. No, it doesn't work that way, Gaz.
No.
You got to remember.
We are the world's only telepathic podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Apple has faced quite a bit of pushback from employees over its recent return to person in work. Now, the thing is, I think I remembered a lot about this because, one, I've got to agree with the policy of being in work, because being with your colleagues does help with a lot of processes. It does help with a lot of thinking out of the box. Not sure I like that term, but you know, you kind of connect with
out of the cube.
We're doing this, and yes, we could link up here, and just those over the water cooler chats. I think they do help a lot.
They do,
and equally,
especially depending on what it is that.
Agreed.
But in most cases, that's absolutely
most cases. In fact, pretty near all cases.
Well, probably not building demolition.
Well, no. But we're talking about office workers. You don't normally do demolition in office. Well, you do demolish the office. Yeah, but you don't. Really you're generally not working in the office when it's being demolished.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Pen.
Yeah.
Pad.
Yeah.
Don't do building demolition while in the office. Okay. Words to live by. Thank you.
So I would say that there are all jobs, even demolition works, you know, a bit of interaction and chatting to each other in various different percentages will help that work. Anyway, okay, so he's not happy with the fact and he's resigned. But equally, if these people aren't careful, nobody is indispensable, folks. Nobody. So if you are
except us,
cheaper,
on this podcast.
except us, of course, except us,
of course.
Guy, I need to call you Karl. Then that means you are indispensable. They may go, well, if you're not going to come into the office, why do we have to pay you at such exorbitant prices? We can get equivalent talent by paying someone in a cheaper part of the world. So be a little bit careful, folks. Be a little bit careful. And I think it's good I like being in with people anyway, you know, unless you're a real hermit.
Who said
moving on, because that was supposed to be a snippet, and it was quite a long snippet, and I've already got another long snippet coming on later. So BMW are shipping new cars temporarily without Apple CarPlay. BMW temporarily shipping cars without Apple CarPlay and Android Auto functionality due to the automaker, that's car maker to everybody else in the world, changing its chip supplier. Now, personally, I get chips from the chip shop, so just go there.
And fish.
AirTags helps an Australian photographer recover $7,000 worth of stolen gear. So AirTags, it's not all bad news. I'm following people, folks. Tesla has refused to adopt CarPlay, but there are third-party solutions out there. But Tesla and Apple seem to be a little bit at each other's throats most of the time. I can't think why.
I get why Tesla doesn't want, and it's not just Apple. I'm sure they don't want Android Auto in there as well.
Agreed.
And it all has to do with maps and their autonomous driving that the car is supposed to be able to do without fail.
Yeah.
But to have alternate GPS navigation software, I think would not be a good idea in a car that you're going to let drive itself.
Well, fine, but they're not allowing it at all. So end of story. But there is a workaround, as there always is. Apple's Senior Vice President of Services, Eddie Q, is working to restructure services management with the aim of focusing more on streaming and advertising, apparently, Guy. I think I've just read that one. I'm going to say this now, but we will come back to it at the end of the snippet section. Apple has discontinued the iPod, including the iPod Touch, folks. Sad week.
That was the only one they had left.
Yes.
Was the iPod Touch.
Correct. So that's then, therefore, the demise of the iPod. Could public Wi-Fi become obsolete with the latest 5G speeds? I added this one in quickly. It's not really Apple related, but all I can say to you folks is not in the near future. Yeah. No.
What did Steve have anything to say about that?
Steve, I had a word with him and I said, Steve, could public Wi-Fi become obsolete with the latest 5G speeds?
No.
So that was it. End of story.
Yeah.
End of story. Apple, apparently most of iOS 15 users opt out of personalized ads. But there's no impact on the App Store search in ad conversions. Yeah. Is that a shocker to you, Guy?
No, not at all.
Not at all. This, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Apparently, it might be a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, well, it was
Guy's face.
Oh, excuse me. It was delayed reaction.
Yeah,
much like that cough I just did.
Apple loses the most valuable company crown to a Saudi oil firm, Aramco. I'm not sure there's a big surprise there, to be perfectly honest with you.
Let's see. So,
shocker.
Fortunately, I guess, for the oil company, there's not a whole lot of back and forth that goes on between these two companies.
No. So they're not really too worried. Apparently, Apple has updated the second generation AirPods Max, and AirPods Pro firmware. Now, I don't have any of these, so I'm not sure how easy or difficult it is to update the firmware on these. Although, having heard Karl and other podcasts during the week, it's quite hard to update the firmware on the trackers. What are they called? Those.
Those things.
Those things.
We actually said what they were earlier.
And I've forgotten.
Now they're gone.
AirTags. Came to me. Yeah. Apparently, it's quite difficult to update the firmware on those. But
it's not that easy to update the firmware in the friggin' AirPod Pros either.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, there you go. So I think it's probably a little bit more easy than the other ones, but maybe not. There you go. You've said.
It's not like any of them have screens. And even if where could you put a screen on an AirTag? Where could you put a screen?
You don't need a screen.
AirPod Pro?
Well, here's where you put the screen, and for everybody who's not...
Yeah, but I can't fit that in my ear. Come on, Gaz.
Oh, I've just got to. Get a lot of this. This is a diversion from my snippets. I've just got a text that says it's from Apple, okay, for some number, and it says Apple, full caps, Apple Pay was deactivated on your device. To reactivate, visit this link immediately.
Yeah. Sure, that's completely and totally legit.
I don't think I'm going to do that, folks.
No, I think you should do it right now while we're on the show.
Okay, I'll do that. Yes,
that would be so funny.
Yes, never
and
follow
somewhat
links.
Financially draining.
Don't follow links in emails. No. Don't follow links in text. Don't respond to texts that say that the parcel's waiting outside when you think, I didn't have a parcel due. And even if you've got one due, don't follow it.
Yeah. But I'm sure if you hit that link and then put in your ID and password to whatever service that is, that it'll all be fine.
No.
Fine.
Don't. Steve?
Kidding.
Steve? Will it, Steve?
No.
Yes. And just for the sake of future lawsuits, I am kidding. Don't do that. Ever. Apple
TV Plus. I'm moving on. Apple TV Plus head of film marketing strategy resigns after a year and a half in the job. JP Richards has resigned, apparently. Only a year and a half guy. So he's obviously got much better things to do. A lot of people resigning from Apple at the moment, aren't there?
Yeah, they wanted him to actually come in and work, I guess, or something.
Ready with your shocked face?
Wait, hold on.
Apple supplier Foxconn warns of slowing demand.
Oh, damn it. Dun, dun, dun. Shoot. I had something for that.
Now, well, I'm moving on. It's too late now. I always talk about when Apple hits highs, but apparently in the current circumstances, Apple were down 11.8% in 1 week on share trading, but that's not a surprise to anybody, really. Apparently, Apple's anti-union talking points revealed in a leaked memo. Fewer opportunities for promotion. Got to be a little bit careful, folks. People are badgering and pulling pieces of information that you may not want them to, Apple. So just be a little bit more cautious about the sorts of things that you may or may not be talking about. This is me telling Tim, and Tim.
Yes, Tim.
Yes, Tim. Well, I was just going to see if I could find it, but I've got no idea where I keep those now. Oh, there they are. There we go.
Greetings, Tim the Enchanter.
Yes.
Was that the one we used for Tim Cook?
Yes, Tim.
Okay. That's Tim Robertson.
So is it this one?
There are some who call me Tim.
I think that one is good for Tim McSweeney from Epic.
Okay. Right. Yes, true. Apparently, this week, some users were experiencing problems with the Apple Music. I don't know whether you came across this, Guy. I did not. Found it. Yeah.
Sorry.
And you were going to use it, whatever.
Somehow.
Well, you just
even if it wasn't something that was surprising.
If it's going to kill me, I'm going to use it because I was looking for it. I've now found it. I'm going to use it. So I am really going to send you absolutely crazy.
I don't have all my loops. No.
Tough.
We're not going to do I can't find all my loops. Not going to do that.
No. But I did play this.
His name was Guy.
Okay. So years before the eSIM, apparently Steve Jobs wanted the first iPhone to have no SIM card slot. That would have been absolutely terrific back then, really. This was a surprise to me. For everybody not watching on YouTube, Guy is shaking his head and getting rather frustrated.
No, not at all.
Not at all. He's starting to twitch. ECG is coming soon for Apple Watch users in Mexico with Watch 8.6.
No fooling.
Thank you. What the hell is ECG?
But ECG.
Oh,
electrocardiogram, whatever it is.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was
But did you
distracted for some
see
reason.
the way I brought the no fooling in after
Yes.
that? Yes, yeah, good. I wasn't sure whether you'd spotted that or not.
I was just happy that you played it.
I know. That's why I had to kind of just check. It seems scarcely a week goes by without a new antitrust threat to Apple, and the latest, it is a proposed federal digital platform commission.
3 days later.
3 days late. Bloomberg has confirmed that Apple is testing iPhones with USB-C ports. Shocker, guy.
Oh my
Shocker.
God. Wait, hold on. Or how about this?
That feels really powerful.
Yeah, thank you, Bloomberg. Thank you for
you.
doing things and saying things that are painfully obvious.
Okay. Has delivered a commencement address at Gallaudet University.
Gallaudet.
And he's highlighted accessibility.
Yeah, well, that makes sense if you know anything about Gallaudet University.
Okay, well, I don't. So
it has a very, very large percentage of students who are hearing impaired.
Okay, cool.
No joke. That's
I'm
real.
not making a joke. Well,
okay, well, just because
I've got second cousins. I've got second cousins who are totally deaf, and talking to them, and it's
no. All right.
Guy.
You see, that's the problem. That's the problem when you do serious things on a podcast that tries its utter best
not to be serious.
Not be serious.
That is the end of Gaz's snippets. Okay. So we mentioned the fact that the iPod is now no more 20 odd years since it first was introduced back in, I think it says here,
2001,
October,
I think.
2001. Yes. Yeah. I never had one of those original iPods. I think actually there was an iPod that I had similar to, I think that's the one that I had, the first one that
Well, this is the one original that allowed you to store video.
Yes, that's the one that I had. That's the one that
which I think was like just after the fifth gen one.
Or might have been I thought it might have been the fifth gen. Anyway, that's
I had nanos.
It was the fifth gen.
I had
it was
nanos.
the fifth gen. The fifth gen iPod was the first big iPod I got, but then I started getting all of the other iPod minis and the fat.
I got another one. Here's this one.
However, Guy, when the phone, when the phone was first brought to life, in fact, do you remember one of those iPod Nanos that they actually had as a watch? Some people created
it was like the size of an Apple Watch.
Yeah, and they brought it out. And some people.
And was that the Nano or was that?
I think it was the Nano. Yes, I think it was the Nano.
Well,
anyway,
it was the smallest one they'd ever made that had a screen.
Anyway, what brought to mind was the fact that when the iPod Touch first came out, I went all in with that. Absolutely all in, because what I used to do was have a MiFi, and I thought, I'm not sure that I want the phone at the moment, but rather than get the phone, I could have as much almost functionality if I had two devices, which was the iPod Touch and the MiFi, which I tended to carry around with me a lot anyway for data streaming for the other devices that I had. So that's what I did. And I did that, I think, for about 18 months, almost 2 years.
Wow.
And somewhere in the house, I've still got the MiFi. The battery on it is just completely dead in terms of short
Let me
life.
connect. Oh, too late.
Yeah, something like that. But I used that for almost 18 months, 2 years, and it worked flawlessly. The whole process was really good. And then I finally got into utilizing the phone and buying a phone. But I love the iPod Touch. My daughter, unfortunately, I got her, I think it was 128 gigabyte iPod Touch 6th gen. I think it might have been. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And
which was really, I think that was the last one.
And she took it.
They just kept selling it for years.
Yeah, and she took it. It's really thin. It's in my drawer, actually. Beautiful machine. Yeah. Beautiful machine.
Clean it first.
The only problem was she got it wet.
Oh, drawer, not drawers. Okay, sorry. I'll shut up now.
And unfortunately, she got it wet, and the digitizer on the front screen went dead, and there was something else that went wrong with it. So she'd gone to Fiji for 8 months, and within the first 2 weeks, broken her only source of music and video. So that was a bit of a fail, but there you go. Anyway, I love the iPod Touch. I use it a lot. Obviously, the phone's taken it over, and it does seem odd that they couldn't reduce the price and the manufacturing cost to keep that going. But obviously, you know what Apple's like. They do kill things off eventually. And,
well, they're I mean, here's the thing about the iPod. The iPod was great until it wasn't. I mean, basically, once the phone came out, and especially once I think the 3GS came out, every bit of functionality, the moment you could put actual real applications on your phone, the iPod Touch became irrelevant. And I doubt Apple was selling very many of them. I mean, I used to use mine when I first started doing Guy's Daily Drive. That's how I used to do the show. I didn't live cast it. I would just set up the iPod Touch in the car and then record myself and download it later. And once a certain social network platform allowed for live streaming, I was able to do that with my phone for Guy's Daily Drive.
Anyway, it will be missed.
Yeah.
But we've moved on in the world of certainly streaming, because I think it was more the capacity of that device which helped people, in terms of linking it to your machine and downloading all of your songs to your iPod. But now, I suppose it's not used. Although there are times, if the watch could do a little bit more streaming with music, and so I could download a bit to it, then that would be great. Because there are still places in the world, folks, shocker, that you can't actually get data on a download. So you do actually have to have something on your device, wherever you may be. But if you're overdoing it.
I know. I do.
You're killing it.
The moment I find a reason to use it again, it's like 3-4 times in the show, and then the next week it's like, did I have something that lets me do that?
Yeah. Looked up at the sky. Anyway.
Yeah.
iPod, no more. Shame, sad face. But the G-Men, well, stand by.
Actually, hold on. Before we go.
You going to say something else?
I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
And you may not be able to answer this.
42.
No, it's not life, the universe, and everything. But I guess this would kind of fall into that as well. Considering that the iPhone pretty much rather quickly replaced everything that the iPod Touch does, what do you think will replace the iPhone?
For me, the closest thing that might is the watch.
Okay,
but
that was
difficult.
My question.
It's difficult because
the screen is so small.
The screen is so small, and I think the fact that the phone, I think it's really a change of form factor in terms of how thin it is, or what you're actually able to demonstrate, the screen on, because most people will still want a screen of some sort. Yeah. If you think the amount of times that people, the major interaction point between your device of connecting to the rest of the world is a screen of some sort, a lot of people don't care what sits behind it. They just want the ability to be able to interact with a screen, which then connects to the rest of their, device capability. So I don't think a device will take over. You might get a myriad of slightly different devices that might help out. But
I'm laughing because not so much our kids, but our grandkids will look at their parents and go, wow, you actually had to interact with a screen?
Yeah, I suppose it won't even be glasses. It'll be things like contact lenses.
Yeah, or direct brain implants. It's like, just plug in, man.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Plug in, tune on, tune off.
Wow, that's moving ahead anyway. But we here, the G-Men, people stand by. to stand by, because whatever else, we'll be right back.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the MyMac.com podcast. Don't look us up in IMDb because you won't find us there ever. They don't IMDb YouTube celebrities. So you know for a fact they're not going to IMDb us because we're not even YouTube celebrities.
We're just not celebrities.
I don't even know where I'm going with that, Gaz, so I'm just going to stop. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Apple services, and then because there were so many and it led to kind of a long discussion, we decided we were going to break it up into two different segments. And then Karl Madden, of all people, just decided to barge his way onto the show.
I thought that was rude, actually.
I was kind of like, wow, Karl.
I mean,
thanks.
we're so nice. We're so nice that
We are. Actually, we're just kidding, Karl.
You don't have to tell him. You don't have to tell him that. Just
we
move
love
on.
having you on the show, Karl.
Hang on a minute. Let me play that recording. We love having you on the show, Karl.
Boop, 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 boop.
Honestly,
Okay. Honestly, we're not kidding.
Really?
Okay. See, you can, and he's brought back the Mac and Forth show, so make sure you check out that podcast because it's really good.
move on.
Moving on. Okay. Somehow Apple has put together a package of attractive overall services that a lot of people are buying into, from streaming media to credit cards. Apple has their hands in a lot of digital services that almost all have the name Apple in them, just to remind you where they came from. And if you're feeling a bit of deja vu, it's because I said that exact same thing at the start of the second segment 2 weeks ago. So we're going to start with Apple Podcast. Vujade, that incredible feeling you sometimes get that you have not lived through something before. Apple Podcast is free.
No one has ever lived through any of our podcasts before.
No, they listen, and as soon as it's over, yeah, it's kind of hard to keep our subscription numbers up. Oh, I crack myself up. All right, Apple Podcasts, free, but you can subscribe to some podcasts at a cost determined by podcast authors, which will never, ever happen here. Ever.
That's always been the same, though, hasn't it?
Not necessarily. I think that's relatively new.
Well, when I say always, I would say there have been podcasts that you could subscribe to them and buy a service, which then you got a special link. I suppose. I suppose they've made it easier in so much that it's now part and parcel of the whole package, that it's easy just to subscribe and pay through Apple
services.
Yeah,
which we will talk about money in just a little bit.
Okay.
So podcasts used to be part of iTunes, and that made it easy to jump to from music. Well, Apple wasn't having any part of that, so they spun it into its own app. The best part, it can be very easy to use even through Siri. The bad part is discoverability is not great, which is going to be a common theme with so many of these different services. Part of it is the sheer number of podcasts now in every genre. But the UI does not lend itself to finding new stuff that well either. You're probably better off finding the shows that you want online and then subscribing to them in the app. So basically, find a genre of podcasts that you like and then Google that genre. And then once you've found a bunch of podcasts with that, then go and subscribe to them through, well, and not necessarily through Apple Podcasts, but through whatever service you like.
I'm going to just add a thing in here, a comment here, Guy, that actually I don't think discoverability on the web has actually it's gone downhill since about 2013 through to about 2015. I think discoverability generally now is much harder, whatever service you're on, because
why do you think that is?
Well, what the reason it is because they're trying to second guess what they think they want to put in front of you. because you've liked this, you must like that. Well, yes, I may like that, but I'd also like to discover something else, because YouTube is an absolute nightmare for discoverability. It just keeps throwing at me the same stuff that I'm watching, either repeatedly or the same generic rubbish. I call it rubbish.
Whether you want to see more of that or not.
Yeah. I mean, there's sometimes I just want to watch this just to pass the time of day. It's just, it's just a bit of, I can chill out to that. And then it gets rammed down my throat. Sorry, YouTube, throw stuff at me which is completely different. And that I think is not just YouTube, it's pretty much most services these days. So although I agree with you in terms of discoverability on podcasts for Apple, yeah, I think it's a generic thing since about 2000 through to 2015. Things have just got worse and worse. Yeah, that's my rant over. Nah. I'm an old man. Get off my lawn.
Get the hell off my lawn, you little whippersnappers. Well, go ahead.
Okay, Apple Books. Costs apparently vary by title. Apple Books is a basic online bookstore like Amazon's Kindle service, but at a likely higher cost for reasons too numerous to go into here.
You see the MyMac podcast about 10 years ago.
Yeah. Buy books to listen or read through nearly all of your Apple devices, and even publish your own if you want directly through the service. So this is something which I think is a real shame. Apple could have done so much more with this, and the world would have benefited so much more. But some people at a different company got their claws in first.
Jeff Bezos. Sorry.
I didn't.
Amazon Kindle.
Bless you.
Thank you. I feel better.
So I think Apple themselves would like this service to do a lot better than it does currently, I would expect. But there you have it. I must admit, I would love audiobooks, certainly, to be much better on my devices. When it comes to reading books, not so much, not on electronic devices, not so much for me. But
I haven't enjoyed that experience either. And I've had several books that electronically that I've tried to read on an iPad, and and I've heard that like the Kindle White and the e-paper books or e-paper devices are a better experience than something like the iPad. But unless if I was, say, going overseas on a long trip, which I used to do but don't anymore, thank the Lord, I would have loved to have had something like a Kindle White or an iPad or something that I could cram 15 to 20 books on instead of carrying them around in my bags, which I used to do, and then give them away as I would finish reading them. But the other problem with Apple Books is the publishing part of it. And I can't speak to it as it is right now, but I know in the past, when I've tried to publish something through Apple Books, it is a pain in the ass to get something on there in such a way that you can just go, oh, okay, here's my account, here's my book, and it's just up there, which is the experience that you get, as much as I hate to admit it, with Amazon's publishing services, which is just so much easier. And Apple could certainly take some lessons from them. Anything else before we move on a little bit?
No, I think we've killed that one.
Okay. Oh, good. Next up, this isn't available in all parts of the world, but the Apple Card. Do you want a hard titanium card emblazoned with the Apple logo and your name? Of course you do. Who wouldn't? All kidding aside, I've been using the Apple Card since it was introduced, and I have rarely actually pulled the card out of my wallet. I just hold up the phone to the payment screen on many payment systems, double click, and you're done, usually. Or the watch, Sometimes it might be more involved, like adding your zip code or maybe a digital signature, but it's usually nothing too onerous. Also gives you cash back up to 3% on certain transactions, like buying that new iPod Touch. Oh, wait, no, not that anymore. And that joke just got completely blown because I didn't say it right away. New iPhone or M1 laptop.
Yeah, we obviously don't get the card over here. There's been rumours that it could be coming, but I've got to say, I can't remember the last time I used a card. If I can't use the watch, occasionally there are readers which fail at my watch, and I don't know why. But I just get my phone out and then use my phone. And within Apple Wallet, see what I did there? See what I did there? Within Apple Wallet, I've got some of my credit cards. Talking of which, Guy, the Apple Wallet, which is slowly becoming Guy's most favorite service Apple provides. Not only can you put credit cards in there, you can actually put all sorts of cards in there. You know, you go to these shops and they go, "Oh, we've got a card. Use our card," so that they can follow exactly what you're doing.
Exactly.
But you can get discount cards as well. They're not sort of credit cards. They're like in-store VIP cards, which you can use. Well, I put those into my wallet as well. And, you know, it's just got a scan code, which they want to scan. So that's great, rather than having a wallet with loads of cards in. Anyway, apparently you can also have state-issued IDs, although not in Virginia just yet, to airline boarding passes, company loyalty cards, tickets to premium events, which I've done, public transit services, which I haven't done. There's so much more packed into that particular app. Integration with some home smart devices, like locks, keys for hotel rooms, and maybe even your car. But Guy doesn't know how he feels about that exactly just yet. There are more than a few privacy issues that some people might take issue with, however, to keep in mind before jumping in with both feet. So, Guy, it sounds like we've both jumped into an Apple Wallet in various high levels of usage.
And I've got big feet.
You've got very big feet, but that's probably because you're closer to the moon than I am.
just during certain parts of the day. Which way is the sun facing today? When I went down to Birmingham to see those USFL games, I had my parking pass was on the phone. My tickets were on the phone. My hotel was on the phone. My key was on the phone. And, you know, you go into shops and I don't, like you were saying, you don't even pull out a credit card anymore. You just hold up your phone or you hold up your watch and double click. And as long as it's within a certain monetary limit, it's like, you know, hey, presto, everything is done. Yeah. And the fact that they're starting to put ID cards in it, which I imagine will eventually blossom to passports and things along those lines. I mean, we're getting real close to a society where carrying physical money and carrying like stacks and stacks of ID cards or your tickets or any of the rest of that is no longer necessary. And I know some people, you know, they think, oh, it's the apocalypse, blah, 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 you know, and I'm kind of like, no, the less stuff I have to carry, and if I can have it all in a device that I'm going to carry with me anyway, then that's great. I love it. And the best part about it, Gaz, now I know this probably hasn't, I don't know if this has happened to you or not. Have you ever had your pocket picked?
I haven't actually, no. I haven't.
I have.
That's because I don't have any pockets.
Oh, well, yeah, I was in a part of the world where this kind of thing happens all the time. Right. And it did happen to me. And fortunately, they didn't get any of my ID cards. But having to go around and cancel all your credit cards and get new ID cards and get new passports or driver's license or all the rest of that, it's like, ugh, you know, why should you have to go through all this? But if it's all on your phone, you can cancel those services, have new ones issued, get new identifications, all of the stuff, all the digital stuff that you have on your phone.
The only be replaced. The only issue at the moment is, though, Guy, for the tickets and stuff they get, you know, they send them to you. I don't know what the situation is with like credit cards and stuff in terms of adding it back onto your phone within the wallet, because you generally still have to have the physical card to be able to add it into your wallet. However, now I've got a safer storage of my credit cards not being on me and not therefore being pinched by the pickpocket back at home. So I then just get a new device, cancel everything. You don't even have to cancel anything. You just delete everything off your phone, which you can do remotely, and then get a new phone and then just re-add all of those pretty easily. So, but if you're in a situation where you've decided to, or you've lost your cards as well and you get a new device, I think you could still go through quite a lot of heartache. So let's not make it that it's that easy. Because I'm sure you still have to go jump through hurdles to get that done.
Yeah, but it's easier than it normally would.
Oh, yes. Yeah. In terms of most people actually have their device in their hand all the time. They put it in the pocket. Although having said that, I see so many people walking around with the phones in their back pocket, whether they're Apple or other, and they're just sticking out slightly. And the amount of times I just want to go, oh, I've got that phone. See how easy it is to be stolen, person. Yes.
Well, let me ask you something. If your phone was stolen, does Apple have a service that you could use to put all of that information back on it again?
Well, the service I would use is probably iCloud, Guy.
Huh.
Because I'd use iCloud for all sorts of stuff, including, well, why don't you tell us about it, Guy?
Oh, is this? Oh, okay. That's right. You did. All right. See, this is the back and forth that we sometimes have trouble with because I forget where we started and where we stopped. All right. iCloud and iCloud Plus, which varies from free to $9.99 a month. This is the service that we love to hate and love. The free version comes with 5 gigabytes of storage, which is just enough to piss you off when you hit that hard storage limit for that very first time. The 99 cents a month version gives you 50 gigabytes, which quite frankly should be the free version. The next 2 tiers give you 200 gigabytes for $2.99 or 2 terabytes for $9.99. And also gives you access to the private relay beta service. Or is that still in beta? Or is that out of beta now?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, it's the private relay service, which hides the actual URL of any web page that you go to, even from Apple and whoever your ISP is. Hide my email gives pesky, intruding websites, which is all of them, a randomly generated email address if they insist on having one so they can't bug you later, for insurance and warranties on your 1965 Ford Taurus. Online storage for documents and files, not just from Apple's applications, but other applications too. Automatic backups can be very handy when you get a new Mac or iOS device. And once logged into iCloud, all of the various services should just upload to that new device. So I have through, what is that? Apple Plus,
Apple One.
Apple One. That's what I was
Apple One, you get,
of.
if you go for the family option, you actually get 200 gigabytes of iCloud Plus. iCloud Plus.
Yeah.
If you go for the Premier option, which that gives you 2 terabytes. But I actually go with the family. Now, this gets a bit complicated for me, so be a bit careful. A little bit, because I've got what I deem to be my services for videos, for apps, for music through one account, and also my own iCloud account. However, I do share some of those services from both. But on my family one, I do share some of that with the rest of the family so that they can do their backups. So they don't have to worry about that 50 gigabytes, which should be the standard, because I share that out to them. So that makes it much easier, because I use.
I can't get my wife to sign up for it. I don't know why. And it's free because I have the $30 a month version here in the States, which gives me 2 terabytes of storage. And
it's useful. Really, for backing up your phone, and even some of the photos, because most people haven't got the sort of photos I've got. But so they could use that 50.
Who would guess?
50 Thanks.
Sorry.
Anyway, there you go. Individual, $14.95. iCloud with 50 gigabytes. Family, $19.95. iCloud Plus with 200 gigabytes, and Premiere with 2 terabytes, including.
And honestly, yeah, for $30 a month, considering all of the other services that we're
Music,
all signed
TV
up
Plus,
for, that's pretty good.
iCloud Plus,
Fitness.
News Plus, Fitness Plus. Yeah.
I like it. All right, that's I think that's all we got for this.
I'm agreeing with you, Guy.
He is, and he's nodding. He's nodding his head.
Hit it. Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
It's time for
Gaz's tip. So,
Batman.
yeah. So normally I'll do a Mac tip, but I thought here's a couple of iPhone tips, and the first one's a bit of a fun iPhone tip, just in case you didn't realize this. Start your camera, pick slow-mo, change it to selfie, hit record, shake your head from side to side as fast as you possibly can, and then watch that snippet back. And I challenge you not to giggle, Guy. Yes, they call these slow-fizz. So have a look, yeah.
Okay.
But you can do videos, slow-mo, portrait in selfie mode. But if you do it in slow-mo mode and then shake your head from side to side, yeah, you will see just how old you are with the amount of flapping your face does. Also, if you got emails, which most of us have these days, no faster than that, Guy, although your hair might do all right. If you get trapped in an awful reply email thread, that's blowing your phone up with notifications. I tell you, see, Guy's just tried it, folks. Guy's just tried it, and it's made him laugh.
It's the hair. It's the hair, guys. I have to send this to you.
So if you get trapped in that awful reply thread and it's blowing your iPhones up with notifications, don't fret. You can escape. Here's what you should do. Open up your mail app on your phone. In your inbox, swipe right to left across the message, tap more, scroll down, and you will see mute. Tap mute, and then you won't get all the notifications because everybody's hitting reply in that particular email thread. Yes, Guy.
You're nodding again.
Hit it. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's the end of Gaz's tips.
Is that the end of the tip?
Will you let me finish?
Gaz, you are absolutely right.
You just looked at the video, didn't you?
And I've got to say, it looks like you've got a lot of cobwebs.
I do. They're not hair extensions. This is actual. Now, there's none up here. You know, I'm not
just moved.
I'm not trying to fool anybody.
So, Guy, for anybody who doesn't know, Guy, he's got a bald top of head, but he's got a lot of hair down the back and sides, and it's very wispy. Let's call it wispy. And he did that little trick that I did, that little tip, and I've just seen the video, and yeah, his face doesn't wobble so much. No. His hair certainly looks like a bit. Well, I mean,
considering that I'm like 61, practically 62 at this point, I think I'm in. You know, other than my hair, which doesn't bother me at all.
Oh dear, let's move on.
Okay. For pick's sake, we have the usual that we've been talking about for a while now, the timeout.com list of helpful Ukrainian donation sites, which include the Ukrainian Red Cross and Doctors Without Borders, which in French, Gaz, is
Je sans frontières.
There we go. So check out the links. They'll be in the show notes. And please, 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 if you can, only if you can, please donate to those sites to help them out. I actually have a pick sake for this week, Gaz, and it's something I'm getting ready to do a review on.
Ooh.
And it is ScreenFlick.
Is that a MyMac?
Yes, that'll be on mymac.com.
Oh, cool.
Not sure when.
Okay.
It's ScreenFlick by, I know I'm going to screw this up, Aurelium. I think it's Aurelium software.
Good. Yep.
And it's $35. Now, if you're expecting software that's going to compete with the likes of ScreenFlow or what was
Screenium.
the
ScreenFlow. You're
there was
looking
one
for
that's
another
Camtasia. That's the other one I was
Camtasia.
trying to
Yeah,
think of.
I didn't really use that much.
Those are very different types of screen capture software, and they include a lot of stuff like to edit afterwards. They also cost quite a premium as compared to this, which is $35. Now you can trim it. And the other cool things that it does is you can toggle on and off when you use the keyboard. It'll show up on the screen when you use the keyboard, including the shift and option and alt keys and all the rest of that. If you want it, you can choose that. And here's the cool part, Gaz. You don't have to set it when you record it.
Oh,
you can toggle that on and off after.
That is good. That
you've
is
recorded.
Oh, really? That
Yes.
is good. That is good. Yes.
You can
I like
also
that.
toggle on and off whether you want to be on the screen and where on the screen that you want to be after you record it.
Ooh.
So you're not locked in. The thing about so many of these other screen saving or screen capture programs is whatever you've got on the screen, that's it. That's you've got to just deal with that. And this gives you some really, really don't start music just because I touched my ear pod. Stop it. God, that makes me crazy. I wish it would stop doing that. And I'm sure there's a way to make it stop doing that. But I won't think about it until after we're done with the show. Yeah. So, where's my notes? Here's my notes. Screen Flick by Aurelium Software. It's $35. It's got some really, really cool features, and you can try it before you buy it. So you can download it and see if it works for you. Check that out over at aurelium.com. There'll be links, of course, in the show notes.
I like that. I like that. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So you got anything?
Try out. Well, I might. No, I haven't. But I might just try that out at some point because I have actually been doing some recording for work on MyMac. Although I didn't mention it, and been using ScreenFlow. But this could be quite useful as well, just as a backup option, because ScreenFlow can get a bit heavy sometimes. Yeah, when you just
same thing. The same thing with Camtasia. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Camtasia because it's practically a friggin' video editor in its own right. And it's great for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes if you just want to record a screen, or maybe you have a screen that's like not a typical size, or a window that's not a typical size, and you just want to record it, you don't want to spend a lot of time trying to set it up. Screen Flick is really, really good for that. Cool.
Good. No, I've got nothing more. Like it. Well done. Good job.
Remember, if you've done a podcast review, and I need to change the wording of that, in whatever aggregator that you prefer, and you have done that review, which I've now said twice, if you let us know about it through an email,
having done a review
3 times, then you could get a Woody. And what is a Woody, I hear you ask?
I don't know, Guy. Tell them what a Woody is.
A Woody is a big W, big O, big O, big T, little I, little E. That spells Woody. And, we were talking last week, and it's been coming up quite a bit, how iCloud Drive is now the default in iCloud. And so the documents and some of those other folders that used to be in there are now, going to go away. And I came across, because I do all of these in this one particular, I'll do all the Woodies in this one particular program. And I saw them all there in iCloud, and for whatever reason they weren't named. So I started going through them and renaming them. Some of them are quite clever. So if you would like to get one, there are various ways that you can do it, and there are various different types of Woodies that you can get depending on what it is that you do to deserve
the Woody.
A Woody. Yeah. So, we did get some audio feedback.
Yes.
Just one.
Yes.
And we're both kind of confused about it. But
maybe
it's supposed to be a bumper, but I've got to say it's a little long for a bumper. So, and it's from well, you'll know who it's from when it gets to the end. I'm just going to play it. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello. Hello. Is that the Foo Flung Dung Chinese restaurant? I want to place a delivery order. Hello. Hello. I want 16 curries, 3 fried rice,
Wow.
2 boiled rice, egg fried rice. I want 6 cans of Coca-Cola, 15 cans of Iron Brew. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? I want... Oh, these are no good.
Guy and Gaz on the MyMac Podcast show.
We're both very confused by that. But it is funny.
Thanks, Mac Jim.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. We really appreciate it. Now, if you would like... Hello? Damn. If you would like, for whatever reason, to contribute to the continuing madness that is the MyMac.com podcast. Oh, there are so many ways you can do it. You can go to patreon.com/MacPettit. You can go to coffee, ko-fi.com. Buy us a coffee. Wow, trouble. Buy us a coffee from coffee.com, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. Where you get on with it. You can also pay a pal at paypal.me/MacPettit. Now, Gaz, if people wanted to get hold of not me, but you, as I go out of focus because my hand gets in front of the camera, how would they do so?
It's easy. It's easy. It's ever so easy. It's so easy to... you send an email to Gaz, G-A-Z, at mymac.com, or on the Twitters, twitter.com/Gazmaz, G-A-Z, M-A-Z. You can also contact both of us on the Twitters, the Elon Musk Notters.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I did say Notters.
Okay.
Twitter.com/Guy and Gaz, G-U-Y-A-N-D-G-A-Z. You can also you can also send an email to feedback, FWDBACK, at mymac.com.
I waited too long.
Yeah.
I was doing something funny on screen.
Yes. Bit delayed. Yeah. Now,
do we know it was a guy?
We know it was a guy.
I like to go with Guy.
I like to go with Guy as well, because
Guy says...
He says...
No fooling.
Oh, does he? But what does he say before that?
His name was Guy.
He does.
It's not the same.
Now it's not the same. And he is going to die until...
He's the guy.
Because...
Guy's the one. Guy.
Guy?
You remember Guy?
Yes.
His name was Guy. No fooling. His name was Guy. His name was Guy.
It's not on a loop. I'll have to get on the boot. Anyway,
no fooling.
If you want...
thank you. I just need the one. No
just
fooling.
the one.
It zeroes everything out.
If you want,
An email from
which I've just repeated, how would they do it? Oh, and by the way, Karl's cohorts, you're welcome anytime.
Well,
no fooling.
Most of them.
All of them.
I know. I'm just kidding. Oh, if you want to get a hold of me, you can send me an email. You can send that to Guy, he said in a William Shatner-esque voice, at mymac.com. You can also send that to podcast@vertshark.com.
Oh,
there we go. Vertshark.com is the website that you would send that through. It's got all the odds and all of the vids. I have a channel over on YouTube that's called Vert Shark. And you can see all the videos over there. The video for this show will be up on there.
Where will it be? Where will it be?
Over there on the on YouTube on the Vert Shark channel. There we go. You can also find me on the Twitters. I am both Mac Pettit and Vert Shark. And we have a combined one, which is, oh no, you already did that.
Yes.
So I won't say it again. Yeah. You can also call us. And this is one of the ways that you can get a Woody. If you call us the first time, you don't get one every single time you call, because Greg would be able to wallpaper his entire house.
Be able to wallpaper Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, with all the Woodies that he would have. That number is 1 or +1 outside of the United States, 703-436-9501. That number again is 1 or +1, 703-436-9501. Or if, I know this sounds redundant somehow, if you don't like dialing a 1 or a 0, but even though it's still in the number, you can just go right to the Skype app. Go right to the Skype app and just dial 703-436-9501. And I would like to say, number one, thank you for having so much patience with us on this likely to be a much longer than usual show. We really appreciate the fact that you have come and downloaded and listened. Damn it, you got to listen to the MyMac.com podcast. And Gaz, I think that means that we're good enough. Good enough. And that we're smart enough.
Yes.
Definitely smart enough.
Yes.
And that we wander much like Wilf, doggone it. Woof.
Woof.
Wilf. Woof. Wilf. Woof.
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 And that somehow or another, both people and Wilf, well, I don't know about me, but he likes you, will like us. The short one.
Moyakov software zoo as pub dorb tab sis theme natuzu duar software uas codge them row. That's what I'm saying, Guy. That's what I'm saying, all right? Now,
it could be true.
It could be true. It could be true. Could well be
among
true.
Us.
Among us. Yes.
So funny.
I once worked in a canned juice company, Guy.
Did you now?
Yeah. But I was fired because apparently I couldn't concentrate.
Wow.
End.
So you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on. Go on home and go home. you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on home and go home.